in today's show. We're looking at Thursday's action in the NBA. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at Yahoo Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and we are available on all platforms. We are looking ahead to Thursday. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a shit day. There's only 2 games on. That is, after 12 games Wednesday, having 2 on Thursday is piss poor scheduling. And if you skip this show, I get it, right? It's only 2. We're not actually watching that much. There are some interesting stream options, but they're relatively obvious. It's just a shit day. And, you know, if you are going to skip the show, just let it play in the background. You know, help out the algorithm. But there's not a huge amount happening. I'll tell you that now. It's just... I'm not going to lie to you. It's the best day in the NBA. There's so much for fantasy players to look at. Let's fire up. Nah, it's bullshit. It's a shit day. Simple as that. And we have these days. And, you know, got to be honest with you. So, I apologize. This might be the worst show that I do for the year. What a sale that is. Let's... Gilly? Warney?
Let's get it on, Gilly.
Haha. Nets Sixers. The good thing about it is this could have been a cracking game. We would have seen Ben Simmons playing against his former team. Instead, we're going to have cameras focused in on the bench to see how he reacts to getting booed mercilessly. I can't say that word. Mercilessly. That's better. We're going to say that. It's going to probably overshadow the actual game, which is annoying. But that's what's going to happen. As for Brooklyn, LaMarcus Aldridge is out. Ben Simmons is out. That's it. Or Joe Harris, we know, is out. But that's their team. They're ready to go. So, we want to watch the Shark, Bruce Brown,
Baby shark,
who's been playing really well. 30 minutes a night, good production, scoring well, good efficiency, gets his steals, really filling it up, much like he did for stretches of last season. And then, of course, he got DMP'd for the first half of this year, which made no sense whatsoever. Shout out to Javon Carter. At the moment, Brown's playing well. I do, again, question how Brown and Simmons fit together. Maybe they don't fit together. They probably don't. In fact, he's likely the guy in this starting 5 that when Simmons is back, he goes to the bench. But for now, there's really good value in Bruce Brown, and we hope we get another performance like that today. Or tomorrow, Thursday. The big avocado, Andre Drummond. Last game, 24 minutes. There is no LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, someone mentioned this to me somewhere, I think one of the YouTube comments. Aren't you worried that he's going to get killed by Embiid? He is going to get killed by Embiid. Embiid kills Andre Drummond. And one of the good things about him being on the Sixers is we didn't have to worry about him matching up against Embiid. He gets killed by Embiid, but they don't have other options. It's Claxton and Griffin. How do you think Nick Claxton's going to go against Joel Embiid? How do you reckon Blake Griffin will go? Like, there's no LaMarcus Aldridge here. And while he will get killed, you don't lose fantasy points or you don't lose fantasy production for what the other guy does against you. So Drummond can still get some numbers. The worry you have, I guess, is foul trouble. And he's not going to play 30 minutes. So while, yes, he is going to get roasted by Joel Embiid, like absolutely barbecued, I still think his fantasy production is going to be okay. It probably won't be 20 and 10 in 24 minutes, but it might be 15 and 8, 12 and 7. It might be that, which is all right. And look, if Aldridge was there, I'd say, oh yeah, look, you might get 15 minutes out of Drummond just to give something different of a look. But he's not. And Claxton's a much worse option to guard him, Embiid. Griffin's got some strength, but it's Blake Griffin, like he's cooked. So they don't really have that many. Day'Ron Sharpe, you going to throw him in there? I don't think so. They don't really have that many options. So that's why I'm not as... Yeah, matchups... Yeah, I think a lot of times people read too much into matchups. And in the end, like the impact that it has doesn't actually happen often enough that we need to be making all of our decisions based off that. One of the reasons why I hate the sleeper format. For the Sixers, We're going to pay attention to Tyrese Maxey. Last game, we saw a slowdown of the 70% three-point shooting. Yeah, it was going to come. It was always going to come. Still hit 40%, 46% overall in that game, and was really strong. The minutes aren't going anywhere. The 18 to 22% usage is probably going to stick. Let's see how he settles in with a regular efficiency type level. And then Danny Green, who's going to miss the next week. What does that mean for Thibault? Does Thibault push up to 30 minutes? Did he do anything apart from get defense? I think last game he had 12 points with no defensive stats, so I guess that was something that wasn't defense. I still don't think that Thibault's anything more than a stream, but on a day where there are 4 teams playing, 2 games on, yeah, this is why you stream. This is why you have him. So there is some value in that. The second game, and the last game of the night, is the Warriors. They are taking on the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets, the only one of these 3 teams that has the back-to-back here. For the Warriors, Draymond will be out, Wiseman will be out, Iguodala will be out. Payton and Porter might return. They have both missed the last 2 games. In fact, Payton's missed the last 3. So they could all return for this game. John Kuminga put up, 21, 6 and 6 last game against the Clippers. If Porter and Payton are back, that probably does cut into Kuminga's playing time. But he's played 29, 29, and 26 minutes, those 3 games, without Porter and Payton. Prior to that, he played 17 and 23. So that is somewhat of a worry. But I want to watch Kuminga. Has he earned the right to play 25 minutes over Porter, over Payton, over Moody and Lee and Bielitsa? Lee and Bielitsa, yes. Where does he fit when this team is healthy and then you've still got those other 3 blokes, Iguodala, Wiseman, and Green, all to return? Where does he fit in? Has he been good enough to maintain 25? I doubt it, but maybe. Then Klay Thompson, who's getting a lot of shots up. They're not going in though, are they? I wouldn't say that Klay is a drop, but we have to start treating him not like old school Klay Thompson, where it's a solid top 50, top 40 fantasy guy. He's like a top 100, 110 sort of player. And a guy that hurts you in field goal percentage as many times as he has this year, if that's not working for your team, just because he's Klay Thompson and everyone loves him, it doesn't mean that you have to hold through everything. Like, if it makes more sense for you to drop because he is just burning you in that field goal percentage category, do it. Like, I'm not saying to do it. You don't do it here because it's two bloody games are on. You just need the numbers in there. But we want to look to see if we can get some semblance of efficiency back from Klay. Jeff Green.
My name is Jeff.
Minutes have been up the last 2 from Big Jeff. I don't know if they're ever going to put Zeke Naji back into the rotation. He keeps getting listed probable they're not playing. But Green has played 31 and 32 the last 2 games. Scored all right against the Warriors on Monday. It is a back-to-back here. Again, so few options available that maybe you do stream in Jeff Green. I wouldn't get excited about, but maybe you do. Will Barton missed the last couple of games with an ankle. Don't know if he'll play Wednesday. Don't know if he'll play Thursday. When he is out, it does tend to inspire Monty Morris to play better. And it's also helpful that Bones Highland might miss too. He's dealing with some knee soreness, which means Morris has to be pushed into shooting more and getting more assists and just generally being a better player. And we've seen when Barton has missed that Morris has upped his activity levels. Fake term, but you know what I mean. Up about 20%. Again, a made-up number. But just everything seems to push up for Monty Morris when you have those guys absent. But I'm going to tell you now about a new product that I'm loving. They sent me a packet of this the other day. Athletic Greens. Comes directly from New Zealand. So my partner's like, what's this? Package from New Zealand? I was like, she's from New Zealand. So she's like, this is great. And I go, yeah, it is. It is great. So we cracked it open. Athletic Greens, here we go. So I started taking the Athletic Greens because it's just a great way of getting those vitamins and minerals, superfoods, greens if you don't eat many vegetables, in one easy and pretty cheap way to do it. Instead of spending like $100 a day like the founder of Athletic Greens was doing on his vitamin supplements to help treat his gut health, you don't have to spend that much. This is 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day right. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews and is recommended by professional athletes as well. It's a climate-neutral certified company, and in 2020, AG purchased carbon credits that supports projects protecting old-growth rainforests. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NBA network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NBA network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. It's that time of year again. College basketball tournament is finally upon us. More of the latest odds, contests, and player props. BetOnline.net is the #1 source for all of your sports betting needs and info. BetOnline remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. So head to the website today. That's betonline.net, or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and the action. BetOnline is where the game starts. Let's look at some stream options. There's no Thursday, Friday back-to-back, by the way. So we can do Thursday, Saturday back-to-backs, I guess. But let's just look at some options for Thursday. That's it. Some guys that are available. And you're scraping bottom of the barrel here. #1 priority to me is Kevon Looney. These are guys that I think are available in most formats. Goran Dragic, not a bad option to get assists in. Shake Milton, with Danny Green out. Yeah, there's some points to be had there. JaMychal Green, maybe. Jeff Green, maybe. It's looking all right for him. Nick Claxton, well, because Aldridge is out, you get 20 minutes. You might not get much. But again, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. And that's how you know we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, because I'm talking about Austin Rivers and George Niang as options to stream. Now, Niang is outplaying Furkan Korkmaz. He's getting like 22, 23 minutes a night. Yeah, they might even have 14-team value. But again, it's a weird day. You got to scrounge the bottom of the barrel to get some value in. In points leagues, these guys, we're talking about them because they're available in over 50% of formats. Bruce Brown, Kevon Looney, Goran Dragic, Johnny Kuminga is still available in a lot of spots. Really like him as a points ad. Shake Milton, DeMarcus Cousins, Jeff Green, Nick Claxton, and JaMychal Green. And that is basically the end of the show. But I've got to satisfy the sponsors. So I've got to do one more ad read. Sorry, I told you it was going to be a shit show. Rock Auto is an online family business serving auto parts customers for over 20 years. Why would you go to a local chain auto parts store to get all the parts for your car? It's pointless. They're not even going to have everything you need for a start because they're bound by the physical space requirements of renting property. Rock Auto's not. It's online. Whatever you need, they have got it, and they're not bound by exclusivity contracts and deals that make you pay more money. So whether it's brake parts or tail lamps or motor oil or even new carpet, Rock Auto has everything that you need for your car or truck. So why don't you go to rockauto.com and get it, look at all of those parts that are available, and in there, how did you hear about us box right locked on, so that they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need, rockauto.com. Guys, follow this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on the Odyssey app. If you are on YouTube, thumb it up and leave your comments down below. I'll be back later today with a recap of all 12 games from Wednesday. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.